Good morning, everyone. This presentation is covering the film Out of My Mind, and it is by Alexis Caldwell, intended for use in class EDEC 323. So Out of My Mind is a film based on the 2010 book of the same title, and it follows 12-year-old Melody Brooks as she tries to navigate middle school as a student who has cerebral palsy and that is also nonverbal. The release year for the movie was 2024, and the director was Amber Seeley, who collaborated with writer Daniel Stiepleman. Main character Melody Brooks was played by Phoebe Taylor. Her father Chuck was played by actor Luke Kirby. Her neighbor Miss V was portrayed by Judith Light, and Rose, which is another child in Melody's class, was played by Maria Nash. How was the subject of special needs addressed? The representation of cerebral palsy showed painful aspects of the disability, which I feel was necessary to really have an impact on the audience. An example of this is when Melody feels disconnected from her peers and trapped in her own mind, hence the title. She pours a milkshake on her MediTalk in a fit of rage and pain. This showcases negative aspects of the disability in a realistic and respectful manner. We will discuss what the MediTalk is later in this presentation. The subject of special needs was addressed respectfully by showing that Melody is equivalent to her peers despite her disability. This is done by allowing her to join clubs that her neurotypical peers are a part of, and it's also done by allowing her to form friendships in the storyline. Hardships shown in the film include lack of friendship, which she struggles with greatly, especially in the beginning, internal frustration, and an inability to communicate one's thoughts. Sibling involvement. Melody is portrayed as having a younger sister named Penny. Penny is involved with Melody's storyline quite a bit. Her relationship with her sister is portrayed in a positive light. She did not always understand Melody's struggles, but tried to support her in any way possible. Near the end of the film, Penny is hit by a vehicle. In this scene, Penny is playing in the driveway and her mother fails to notice her. Upon impact, Penny is rushed to the hospital and thankfully survives. This scene may be intended to represent unintentional neglect that siblings of disabled children often experience. Emotionally, Penny may not receive the attention that she needs. Physically, she is sometimes forgotten due to Melody's intense and overwhelming condition. I feel that it's necessary to say I don't think that parents of disabled and neurotypical children are neglectful on purpose, but I think that sometimes the condition of their disabled child is so stressful that you have to prioritize, life gets in the way, and they may be unintentionally neglectful in some cases, not all cases. Class film connection. I learned a large amount of information in reviewing the disability profiles of other students. One piece of information that interested me is the usage of communication devices. This relates to the MediTalk that we introduced earlier in the slideshow. These devices range from low-level to high-level technology. Melody's MediTalker would be an example of high-level technology as it is computerized. This device allows Melody to verbalize her thoughts through the voice that the technology provides. So just to paint a picture, this is a device of Melody's that has both pictures and words on it. So for example, it may have a picture of an angry emoticon with the words, "I am angry." And if Melody feels angry, this would be a way for her to express that by clicking on it. The same would go for feelings like sad, happy, hungry, and words like water or other basic necessities. Furthermore, I discussed the usage of wheelchairs in public spaces earlier in the semester. This related to my disability profile on muscular dystrophy. In the film, Melody runs into many physical restrictions that negatively impact her socially and emotionally. One example of this is when the team boards their flight early and Melody is unable to make the flight in time. How did this film impact your future work? A disheartening aspect of the film was when many adults refused to invest time and energy into Melody. They sent the message that Melody cannot achieve what her typical peers can. An example of this is when Mr. Deming failed to grade Melody's test, despite her achieving a perfect score. This negatively impacted Melody's entrance into WizKids' quiz team. This scene reinforced my desire to add situations that build the confidence of disabled children into elementary school curriculum. Additionally, the previously discussed scene involving Penny opened my eyes to the fact that siblings of disabled children are affected both directly and indirectly. This made me consider implementing areas for siblings of special needs children to interact with one another without the expectation of caring for their disabled brother or sister. Examples of such areas could include support groups or extracurriculars. It's important to note that I would not want to establish these activities as a way to exclude disabled children, but rather as a way to include their siblings in a stress-free environment, and this would also provide relief for some families. Engagement in this activity would depend greatly on the family dynamic and what they felt was appropriate for their children. The excluded aspects in film. While the film discusses Melody's desire to join the WizKids Club, it does not discuss her feelings related to physical extracurriculars. During activities such as gym class, Melody may feel a sense of disconnect or inadequacy. It is possible that this feeling could extend to activities such as team sports, dance, or physical recess activities. Slightly related to the previous slide, this situation made me consider whether there is a way to implement a physical education space for physically disabled children. An example of this may be an altered basketball team for wheelchair users. This is something that I've seen done before in film and in real life. I believe that it is a great solution, and I feel that this could be implemented into many other sports and for children with many other physical disabilities as well. Film portrayal of special needs. Overall, I feel that this film does well in portraying the intricacies of cerebral palsy and being nonverbal. For example, Melody's anger and frustration are well portrayed when she destroys her Medi-Talker. While this scene is uncomfortable and frustrating for the audience, it realistically portrays the difficulties of being different and feeling disadvantaged as a teenager. I feel like this scene was necessary and that it really helped to have the audience empathize with Melody and her frustration, because just as we felt frustrated by her destroying her communication device, that is a similar frustration to what she felt for feeling that she was trapped inside her own mind and body. In a positive aspect, the relationship between Rose and Melody, shown here, is portrayed well. Originally, the friendship is one-sided due to Rose failing to look past Melody's disability. As time progresses, Rose grows in her friendship towards Melody and realizes that she truly enjoys Melody as a person. Due to the respectful and intricate storytelling of this film, I would recommend it to others. As previously stated, the film portrays Melody in a strong and capable manner. Despite this, the storyline includes trials that are realistic for Melody as a disabled teenager. The interspersing of both positive and negative situations allows the viewer to connect with Melody on a level that some films may lack. We are allowed to know Melody not only by her disability, but by her interest and character, fleshing out who she is as a person. Thank you for watching my video. Out of My Mind, the film, can be viewed through Disney Plus currently, as it is a Disney Plus original. The book by the same title can currently be checked out through Mississippi's first regional public library system.